G'day, how are you there? Diesel here for Get Around Oz, camper trailer travelling, and thanks for clicking on the video today. So this is the first video of a build series we've got coming up. Over the next probably 2 months, I'll have a sprinkling of other videos along with the build, and with the Ranger Canopy here, I've decided to completely gut the bloody thing and start again and redo it how I want it. So this is going to be a DIY series of me sort of building my ultimate setup. What is the ultimate setup? Who bloody knows, but I reckon this is going to have everything I bloody want. But with this build, I'm going all the way with it. I'm going to have a complete bloody setup of everything, and if this comes out the way I want it to, this is going to enable me to do some pretty amazing camper trips and take you to some pretty amazing locations, that's for sure. But before we get into this one, I really want to know what you think of what I'm doing here. It's been a pretty wild couple of weeks and it's been pretty bloody hard work, but it is starting to come together. And like the video if you want to support us and get around us, and if you're looking to do a build yourself, hit the subscribe button, jump on this one here. We've got a lot of bloody work to do here and I can't wait to share it with you. But enough from me. Grab yourself a drink, make yourself comfortable, let's get into it. I am a little bit nervous, to be honest with you. Mission for today is to install this water tank here. So now that that's out, alright, here we are, about to get stuck into this thing, and this is a fairly big project I'm going to take on, and I'm not going to lie, while I'm clearly very excited to get into this, I am a little bit nervous, to be honest with you. I'm not qualified to do any of this sort of stuff here, so anything you see in this series here is just a guy, an average guy that just likes to have a crack at things, definitely not someone that's qualified. So get the advice for someone qualified and authorised before you do any of your stuff. Mission for today is to install this water tank here. Now I'm going to tell you a bit about it in a sec. What I need to do first is I've got the fridge slide in here, and I've got the tub mat and the tub liner. I'm taking the tub liner out. Geez, I've been and for quite some time now as to whether I leave the tub liner in or whether I leave the tub liner out, and I'm still not 100%, but I know that I'm going to take the tub liner out to fit in this water tank. So whether it goes back in a modified form, I'm not too sure. We'll have to wait and see how that goes and just see how it works. I got this one here from Pakoffroad, and now if you weren't aware, Pakoffroad are a company in Melbourne, and they do ship all around Australia, and they actually distribute to a lot of retailers around the place. So whether you want to go with them direct or go through your local four-wheel drive or off-roading store, you can get these. But they do a few tanks. They do the Rack Tank 50, which also has the Max Track fitting there for you as well, if that's what you want to do. If you want to fit it on the roof, they've got the wheel arch tank, which is a 40 litre that you can see there. They also have a 40 litre footwheel tank, if that's what suits you. Now I've gone with the 40 litre tub tank here. Now this one here is going to fit on the back. I want it up there out the bloody way. I don't want to get it mixed in with anything else, and I definitely want it in front of the rear axle. That's obviously going to help with weight distribution, and getting it up there out the way will allow me to run the hoses out where I need to without too much hassle. Also going to have a water pump fit in this one here. Now this is a 65 psi or 6 litre per minute water pump. This tank here does come with the brackets you need. If you're just buying the water tank itself, you get this and you get all the brackets that you need. This one here has got brackets. They're going to fit on the bottom there. It does have metal fittings both in the side here and on the top. They supply the bolts and the pop rivets. Pop rivets are for fixing to the tub itself. Bolts are for fitting into the tank itself. So there's 2 main ones here, and there's a couple on the top and a couple on the side there, but I'll show you those in a bit. So all the hardware you need is what comes with this. This one here has got a breather hose as well, clearly to help with the functioning of the water. I guess it'll probably make more sense as it comes to life, this one. So actually going to have the water tank fitting, so there's a bracket there and the fitting that's going to come with. So I'm going to have essentially a panel up the front here where I can actually fix it externally and use it for either hosing things off or for a shower, as essentially going to be the main need for this. They do also have the option for a tap style, and there's also a bracket for that one. So that one's actually a customizable fitting there, which is sort of fit onto there, sort of something like that, and you can actually bend it to how you need it. So whether you want to fit it externally or connect it up to your drawers or whatever, it can do that. Some extra cabling from the water pump up to the power switch, And in here we've got the fuse and all the fittings, sorry, that we need for the water pump and all the attachments there. It does say on the box there as well, make sure you give it a good wash out before you do use it for the first time, and it is rated to be safe to hold water for drinking water if that's what you choose to do. Yeah, so it looks the goods. It definitely looks like a quality build, and enough from me. Let's get into it. So first thing is taking out the fridge slide, remembering that is actually bolted to the tub, so there's 4 bolts in there. I'll have to get in there. That's going to come out. The tub mat, rubber tub mat that I've got from Grunt 4x4 is going to be coming out. May get used in a modified form later on. We'll see. And then we're going to take the tub liner itself out, and then we can get to fixing this one in here. Okay, so bolts wise, there wasn't too many, in case you're wondering, to fit the tub liner in. The Keno I might have seen on the passenger side here, I did undo one of the bolts to the tail light. I have fixed that up. I did disconnect the SIG socket, which is just the 4 bolts in the back, just unplugs. It's pretty easy. I have had a look at down the back of the tub liner there to see if there's any cables running on the passenger side there. The SIG socket that was there was running down the side. It looks like it goes in down the side of the tub there somewhere. So yeah, I've disconnected all those. I've taken out the little spaces I had on the fridge side, and so now that that's out, I can see that this has had the tub liner on it since it's brand new basically. So if you didn't know it, I don't think I mentioned the video so far. So this is a 2016 PX2 Ranger. I'm the second owner. I've only had it for 9 months now, and essentially what I'm going to do at this point is I'm going to give this all a good clean out before, you know, I start doing any more work on it, and then we'll start measuring up this tub. I'll get the tub in here, and the next bit's pretty easy really. It's more a case of finding the high side of the tub here and drilling holes in the tub. So we're going to be using pop rivets on the tub itself. So we have some on the bottom, we're going to have some on the top there. And it shouldn't be too hard to get in. And I guess another thing about seeing the tub as it is now, I can see where I could possibly run some cabling later, you know, for the 12-volt gear, but you know, we'll see how that goes. Time to give this one a bit of a clean out here, which I'm not really looking forward to. And unfortunately, I got that SIG socket cable hanging out the side there that I'm going to have to disconnect and work out where that's going to, and disconnect it somewhere. I'm not going to be using that. Alright, so we're ready for the next part of the job. I just made a quick trip down to Bunno's and grabbed myself a couple of bits here, so not sure I'll get this fitting tonight. I'll have to have another crack in the morning, we'll see, but ready to try and get this in. So what I've got now is grab the drill to drill a couple of holes. I got some Sikaflex here. It's clear Sikaflex because I actually want to seal the holes that I'm going to use. I've got a pop rivet gun here, a little bit of metallic and aluminium paint there, which I think might be the go. That one there is the one I use. Got a can for hydration, and these brackets. So we got these big ones, which essentially are going to fit in like this. So bolts in here, you can see there, pop rivets into the base of, well, the tub actually. I'm not sure how many pop rivets are here, there's quite a few. And then we've got these ones here, which are either going to fit like that to the top there somewhere, or there's another hole on the side here. I'll flip around like that, might be easy for you to see. Flip around the side there and it can go that way perhaps. So I'll see, so there you've got the 4 bolts to go in there. Now the tank itself does have either a port on this side or the other side for you to choose which side is good for you. One thing I was trying to work out was how the hell am I going to work out where I need to put the bolts in with this one here if this is going to be under. So clearly I could go that way, but I want the bracket to be under like that. So what I'm going to do is just going to grab a bit of text, so when it's under there I'll mark the back of it, and then once it's got there, I'll boop, 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 and drill the holes in there, and off we go. Now I was just having a conversation with someone just rocked up here about the tub liner, you know, being in and being out, and I think at this point I've committed to the tub liner being out. Let me know in the comments actually if you're if you swear by the tub liner being in or being out, and why. Me being a perfectionist, I am trying to get this dead center, but these brackets are helpful because they're actually really wide. So even though these screw spots here don't line up perfectly with the high side and the low side, the brackets do allow you to better fix it both sides. That's because of the width of the bracket there. So you know, whether it's that side or that side there, that kind of works out. So it's a pretty clever design. So good morning, it's day after now, and last night I'll just show you what I end up finishing off. So ending up getting all the holes drilled and paint over. I gave him a paint last night and I gave him a paint this morning as well, so that metallic silver was pretty close to what was already there, so I'm pretty happy with that. I had a look at these brackets here, and actually we can call it engineering it, right? I bent these in a little bit, and I thought, well, you know what, where it sits in the back of the tub there, if I can bend these I can fix them in there. Now the holes you can see that have been drilled there will fit into this one here, so both sides you can see how it's got a little bit of a bend and actually fixed on there. So now it's time to rivet these brackets in here. So you obviously got this one here and the other side, and we've got the two on the bottom there. They supply 2 rivets for this side here and the other side, and 4 rivet for each of the base plates there. So I'm just going to go with 4. I reckon that's enough. Now I did ask Pakoffroad about feedback regarding pop rivets versus screws. He was 100% confident that, you know, pop rivets are the go and they've never had any problems. So that's good enough for me. That's what I'll go with. And I've gone with a 6mm drill hole. I think it's maybe a mil either side of the actual rivets itself, so it's tight but not too tight. Whether I should have gone with a 5.5 and sort of squashed it in there, I'm not too sure, but I thought, well, if I'm going to be painting it and, you know, I don't want it to get damaged, I'll Sikaflex it in there, and these rivets should expand enough for it to go in there. But let's get into that one. So now I've got the 2 side brackets in there. The 2 bottom brackets, I've got 2 rivets in each one. Before I put the final 2 rivets in each of those, I'm actually going to see if this fits in here first before I go all the way with it. Definitely a moment of truth, and speaking as the first time we're doing this sort of stuff, I'm not one that's normally good at details and measuring that sort of stuff. I, you know, just prefer to close enough is good enough is, you know, normally my motto. So this sort of attention detail is not something I normally do, but hey, I guess you gotta trust the work that you're doing. We'll see, you know, how we go here. Now I'm not gonna lie to you and tell you I enjoy getting in and out of this bloody tub all the time. It's extremely uncomfortable. I'm not gonna miss, you know, losing depth out of this thing with stuff that is going to be firmly mounted. Absolutely bloody nailed it. Very happy about that. That's a bloody miracle. But there you go. I guess that does go to show I can do these things, and there's nothing saying that you can't either with a bit of perseverance. So I'll get these last 2 rivets in here now, and what I'll show you is also something else that also happened is the bloody gun here, the handle is completely bloody bent, and this thing here, this side here is actually broken away, so I'm actually having a bit of trouble trying to bloody glue this stuff up here. Now what I've done was, before I put the bracket down here, I Sikaflexed some around each hole, I then put the bracket down and just sort of gave it a few minutes there, so it actually sort of sat in there reasonably solid and actually got a seal from the tub to the bracket itself. Then what I did was I put a bit of silicone underneath this bit here, so when it went on top there, it's got a seal as well. The hole itself has a seal from the bottom and the top, and it's the same for the sides here as well. There we go. These bolts they supply, it's a 16mm socket, so these ones to go on the side and these ones here to go in the bottom here. So I'll just fix this one on here first. But I'm very happy with that. It wasn't a difficult job to put it in there, I'll be completely honest with you. The fittings, like the bottom brackets there's obviously movement in there, you know what I mean? So whether you need to move it to make yours align with the high side of the rails there, it's easily doable. It's not completely center in the tub. You know, it's maybe 10mm out, but I didn't measure it, but I'm not worried about that. It's fairly close and that'll be good enough. It's not going to get in the way of anything else there. But just a reminder, this one here is the 40-litre tub tank. I'll chuck up on the screen here so you know which one it is. The other bits that come with this in the box are these two brass fittings. This is for the breather hose, so you got this one here which screws onto that top bit there. That is just the breather nozzle, sorry. Got the cap that's going to go on there with the breather hose here, and I'm not going to put that on here for the moment because, well, I've got an idea of where I'm going to run that. I think it's something that I can fit on there later on and play around, because I still have to hook up the water pump and all those bits and pieces, and whether I use the tap, I'm not 100% sure whether I go for that or I go for the click-on fitting. I reckon that'll wrap up this episode. I'll put the link to the Pakoffroad water tank in there in the description for you, so you can actually have a look at that one yourself, and the fittings and all those bits and pieces. It got here pretty quickly from Melbourne. I'm in Perth, so I think it only took about a week and a half to get here, which is pretty quick. Some companies do take up to 3 weeks comfortably. If you found this helpful, hit the like button for us. It definitely helps with circulation and it helps it get to more people. And if you're into following a build or you're doing a build yourself, you want to see how an average person like me can achieve something like this, hit the subscribe button and follow along. We've got quite a bit to do here from now till Christmas, so it's the first week of October at the moment, and I'm definitely in a hurry to get this done. But let me know in the comments what questions or advice you have. I will not be offended if anyone's got any opinions or any advice on there. Be polite, of course, but no, I'm definitely open to any ideas. I'll wrap him up here now. I'm Diesel for Getting Around Oz, camper trailer travelling. Hope you enjoyed that. We'll catch you the next one. Hooroo. This is the Tub Tank 400. Oh, sorry, the Tub Tank 40. So this is a 40-litre tank, which effectively is, and that's exactly what I've done. So the drill holes, or sorry, the